Hello, everyone. Welcome to Industry Week Production Pulse. My name is Anna Smith. I'm news editor for Industry Week, and today we're going to be talking about the Subortus Project. Today we have two guests joining us today, so I thought to start out we could just have each of you introduce yourself and your position at the Subortus Project.
Hi, I'm Olivia Liu, and I am an incoming freshman in college, and I am the executive director and founder of the Subortus Project.
Hi guys, my name is Tanvee Borikar, and I'm an incoming senior, and I'm the event organizer and social media lead at the Subortus Project.
Okay. And to kind of kick us off, can you just give kind of an overall description of the Subortus Project and its mission?
Yeah, so the Subortus Project is a youth-led nonprofit organization that aims to inspire kids our age and younger to pursue high-skill, mobile, and fulfilling careers in manufacturing. And currently, we have several team members who are high schoolers or incoming college freshmen all across the country. We have people from Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, California, Utah, and Texas. So yeah.
So can you tell me what led to the creation of the project?
Yeah. So the Subortus Project started during the pandemic. I have been reading a lot about labor shortages in factories all over the country, and that inspired me to look a little bit deeper into why exactly there were labor shortages. And I came upon the realization that it was because of a skills gap where not enough people have the appropriate skills to fulfill high skill, well paying jobs in the factories. So I ended up doing a research project kind of investigating what is being done to educate more people to have manufacturing careers. And I ended up talking to a bunch of professionals, whether they were educators, economists, or other nonprofit leaders. And one big theme that I noticed across my interviews was that they kept saying, we need more youth in manufacturing, and we really need more youth to get training and enter the workforce. And that really inspired me to start the Subortus Project because I figured that as a youth myself, it would be very interesting to try to appeal to my peers and see what I could accomplish and rallying my peers to solve this problem.
So what would you say are some common misconceptions that younger generations have about the manufacturing industry that you've seen?
Yeah, I like to start with an anecdote where I was in elementary school, I think, and I first learned about manufacturing in my history class in my Industrial Revolution unit. And I think that unit portrayed manufacturing as something that was extremely outdated and dark and just kind of irrelevant. And so obviously I wasn't interested in manufacturing anymore. And I kind of just had this persisting perception of it as very unappealing and just never something I would consider as a career. And I would venture to say that most of my peers who went through like standardized schooling would say the same thing about it. Especially if they didn't grow up in a community that is manufacturing centric and just simply didn't have a lot of exposure to it through school programs or out of school programs and things like that. And I think generally people think of it as kind of, as I said, outdated and not very cool and trendy and just overall not a job that they would consider.
So it says, your website says that the project creates youth-catered educational content, performs social media outreach, and hosts events to inform youth about technology, sustainability, policy, and current affairs related to manufacturing. So I was wondering if you both could tell me more about these initiatives and events and give some examples.
Yeah, so one initiative that we're doing in this organization right now is I'm actually in the process of creating a podcast. And so I know that a lot of people, as Olivia was saying, the manufacturing industry is something that is taken, I feel like, advantage of a lot of the time, especially even before I joined this organization. I definitely did not know a lot about manufacturing. And so one of the things that I've been listening to recently is a lot of podcasts. And I know that a lot of my friends and a lot of like the youth in our community, they look to social media or they look to podcasts to kind of understand more information. And so we came up with this really great idea of having a podcast in which we interview people who are a part of the manufacturing industry, people who not only work in it, but people who are also, within kind of different subsets of it, like artificial intelligence, maybe people who are helping people get involved within it. So that's one of like the initiatives that we're super excited to begin and kind of see how that works out.
Yeah, definitely. Another initiative that we have that kind of tries to achieve the same mission and appealing to youth by showing them that there are a bunch of subsets of manufacturing is in February of this year, we held a Manufacturing Day event, which is actually something that the Manufacturing Institute runs. It's a nonprofit in DC, and we kind of just opened up our own little chapter of it. And in the event, we invited 3 different speakers. One was a specialist in policy, and he had worked with the government for a very long time. Another one was an engineer by trade, and now she works in a business organization. And another one is she specializes in diversifying the workforce and workforce development for youth. So we were kind of just trying to show youth that there's so many different avenues you can take in manufacturing. And we actually have some recordings of our Manufacturing Day event on our YouTube channel, which we eventually hope to package and send out to educators so that they can give their students a Manufacturing Day experience. And one last initiative that I think is worth mentioning, just because we're actually working with IndustryWeek on it, is our Share Your Story contest, which is where we invite youth to submit writing or visual art or film to reflect on how manufacturing is part of their life. And so, yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to that.
So would you say it's important that the educational content that is created is crafted by youth? Do you think that gives it maybe more, I don't want to say credibility, but it'll appeal to your peers more if it's created that way?
I definitely think that it's super important that a lot of the content that we make is created by youth, especially that are people like similar to the age around us. I think, as I was saying before, the manufacturing industry to me I was completely unaware of the things that, you could actually delve into. For me, I'm really interested in economics. I love dealing with AI and business, and I never knew that the manufacturing industry also included all of these things. And I really feel like just by, introducing these topics that, seem really ancient, I guess you could say, by someone who's your age, it definitely makes it more relatable. And I definitely think that people are way more perceptive to it. Kind of introducing things on social media, through podcasts, I definitely do feel like it does have more of an impact, and it's a great idea.
So what would you say are some benefits of bringing youth into manufacturing?
I definitely think that bringing youth into manufacturing just offers fresh new perspectives within the industry. I definitely think that our youth, especially now, I think we've come up with so many great ideas. There's so many great technological advancements, and I think that every person is so creative. Every person comes from different backgrounds. They have, different opinions and ideas, and I think that the youth can definitely help the manufacturing industry and just help make our worlds become a better place with manufacturing.
So how have you seen the project change manufacturing perceptions and inspire interest in the field? I was wondering if you have any sort of anecdotes or things that you've seen over time.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the first one that really popped out to me was the Subortus Project team itself. I think a lot of our team members, including myself, just didn't give much thought to manufacturing before they joined, but as they joined and as they've been doing so much great work with the organization, all of us have kind of discovered ways that our pre-existing interests intertwine with manufacturing. And I think that's been really cool to see just within our own team. And another anecdote I can think of is during our manufacturing day, where we had the participants make little comments on kind of a collaborative whiteboard that we had set up. And we asked them to share their initial impressions of manufacturing. And I think some people had like various responses. And then at the end, we asked everyone to ask our speakers if they had, any questions about finding job opportunities or internships or just next steps to explore manufacturing more. And we had a lot of great questions where people just wanted to know some actionable steps that they could take to join the manufacturing workforce. And I think that was really valuable. And with our Share Your Story contest with IndustryWeek, our submissions have included youth who reflect on how they first got into manufacturing. And I feel like to have them reflect in itself is a really great showing of how much they value manufacturing in their life and how they really see it as something they can follow through for years to come.
Mm-hmm. So I was wondering if I could ask about the future of the project. Olivia, I know you mentioned you're an incoming college freshman. Do you plan to continue working with the Subortus Project? And as high school students start to go to college, will leadership be passed on to other high school students?
Definitely. So I'm definitely planning to stay with the Subortus Project, and all 3 graduating high school seniors this year are also planning to stay, which I think is amazing. And leadership is going to be passed on to future high school students. We are in the process of figuring out a transition of leadership so that our new leadership is all high school, because we really want to keep the team young and just fresh and having that youth outlook. I think that's really at the core of our mission, is that we make content by youth for youth. So we're trying to maintain that.
Okay, great. Well, I wanted to thank you both again for joining us today. It was great to have you speaking with for our audience today. Please join us again next Thursday for our next episode of Production Pulse. And we hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Thank you.
Thank you.